Good Monday morning, December 11th. How many more days to Christmas? Time is going fast. This is Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton with your Monday morning mindset. So, how in the world are you doing out there? I've got my coffee. It's cold in North Carolina, so I have on my winter sweater. And of course, I had to get up early and put on makeup. You know how that goes, ladies. The gentlemen don't have that problem, but we have to do that because we have to devitize our look whenever we're broadcasting. So, we have a topic today, a discussion, if you will, because I want you to be in the feed and just text me who's on the line, who's out there, who's listening. Oh, Warren from Houston. Good morning, Warren. Good morning. So we have a gentleman on the line. And so this is really good. I see some other people on the line. 9 o'clock, you got to make it your determination to be where you want to be, to get what you got to get, to do what you want to do, to be motivated. It's about motivation, folks. So, how many more days do we have to Christmas? Somebody text me that in. Somebody put that in the feed. How many more days? Just as important, because that's a spiritual holiday for many of us. It signals the birth of the Savior and all that means to us. And let's not get caught up in all the hoopla of the gifts and the commercialism. Remember what Christmas was originally about. And let's keep our spiritual focus on what that day means to us. We share it with family and friends. Hey, Brian, we share it with family and friends. But let's remember that this day for Christendom is a big day now, although historically we know that birth happened in October, not in December. Okay, some of you didn't know that. That was an October event. But it's okay. We have tradition, that's what we do. But let's remember the spiritual component of the holiday, just like Thanksgiving. So, today, I want to sit back and I want to discuss with you not your New Year's resolutions, because we're coming up on that day, the things that you want God to do for you, your higher power, the things that you want to stop doing, the to do and the stop doing, and the focus on your dreams and your ambitions. The New Year's offers a great opportunity for that whole new beginning with 365 days ahead of you. However, what are you leaving in 2017? What's going on? What are the situations you are leaving unsettled? And today's discussion is the win is in the unfight. The win is in the unfight. Hashtag unfight. Unfight. We want to focus on solutions, not pollution. So what do you mean, Dr. Emma? You have some mess you're trying to leave in 2017, and you think that magically on January 1st, if you didn't resolve it, that it's going to go away? Yes, time heals all wounds, but time wounds all heals, meaning what you don't do, what you don't face is coming back around the bend to find you, because wherever you go, there you are. So I want to talk about how to win by unfighting. Not a term you always hear. You hear that term, flight or fight. Either run, flee the situation in an emergency, or stand to fight. I want to talk about unfighting, putting down your armor, putting down your angst, putting down your anger, and looking at the situation without your weapons, without the mouth, without the accusation, without the criticism. How can you leave this settled in 2017 by unfighting? You don't want to move this into a new year. Is it a disagreement with a colleague? Is it a disagreement with a friend? Is it a disagreement with a family? Are you angry with God? Now, some people say, oh, no, 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 don't say that. Now, you know it's true. I want you to hashtag me. Angry with who? Who are you angry with? What unsettles your spirit? You don't want to take that into 2018. You want to win by unfighting. We want to focus on solutions. So there is a big theory behind negotiating effective teams. I'm going to take that theory and I want to apply it to our individual lives. So that theory was formed by a man named Tuckman in 1965. And it's been used by teams ever since. It's iconic, meaning it stays as a primary approach to dealing with team development. So, Tuckman talks about that there are 4 stages of developing a team. I want to bring that in and say there are 4 stages to solving a problem. The first stage is forming. So there's 4 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjoining. I'm going to repeat that. And I want you to put it in the feed. Forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjoining. So this is about team development, and I'm using this theory to talk about our own personal development to lead back in 2017. The angst, the heartache, the disappointment, the disagreements that you have with folks that you have the opportunity to review and to settle. Because I don't want you to make just New Year's resolutions. I want you to make a New Year revolution. I want you to revolutionize the way you look at the issues of disagreement. Now, you know, there's an expression. Well, we can agree to disagree. And you know, that has some power in it. It means I can walk away from the situation, understand that we have a difference of opinion, but we're not at odds with one another. That's good. But I want to give you this formula. So the first stage is forming. How did the argument start? What contributed to it? Was it an issue over relationship communication? Was it an issue over the exchange of money? Was it an issue that sort of violated your principles and your values? What was the issue that formed the disagreement, the argument, the breakup in a relationship that you really want to keep? You know, my brother George, Dr. George C. Fraser, the founder of FraserNet, has a famous expression that your friends are God's way of apologizing for your family or your relatives. Well, let me tell you, folks, disagreements with family members have a critical impact on how we operate and function in the world. It doesn't mean that you can resolve it all, but it's not a situation that you want to keep. And if there is any possibility, if there is any higher power, if there's anything divine about your existence, you don't want to take it into 2018. Because what are we doing? We do not want to take old disagreements into a new year. We want to learn how to win by unfighting and by focusing on solutions and not the pollution. So how did the argument form? Make a mental note. Write it down. Did somebody say something and you took offense? You didn't say anything about it and it's been festering. You know, we do that. How dare that person say that to me? What did they mean? Are they trying to take advantage of me? But you never approach the person. That's on you, folks. That's on you. We got to manage our lives. We have to manage our lives. All the gifts and talents that we have requires management. If you paint, you got to know where your paints are. You got to have your easels. You got to have your tools. If you're a sculptor, you got to have your clay. You got to have your potter's wheel, whatever you use. If you're a coach, do you have your programs? If you're an entrepreneur, what are you selling? Do you know where your products are? Are they available? Are they accessible? What are you doing with your talents? Okay. So forming, how did it get started? Storming. The storming stage are internal conflicts that develop out of a miscommunication. You didn't say it. They didn't say it. You assumed. They assumed. You were critical. They were judgmental. Folks, this is the way. This is what we do as human beings. We don't like being hurt. Our feelings. They say that beauty's only skin deep. So is our feelings, folks. You pinch me, I hurt. You cut me, I bleed. You say something, I feel it. We are in our emotions and our feelings. We're never going to get rid of that. But how do you manage it? You come up with a process. So what is the storming? What was the conflict? How did it escalate that now you're in the middle of a storm? Now you're in the middle of a breakup. Now you're in a middle of a disconnect. Now you don't want to talk to the person sitting next to you on your job. You don't want to look at your boss because they said something to you. And what they said, I'm not questioning what they said. I'm questioning how we respond. We are not responsible for what comes out of other people's mouths, but we are responsible for what we feel, what we think, and how we operate in the now. So as the project manager of your life, now we talk about our businesses, we talk about our homes, but we are the project manager of our, how is this show running? How are you running it? You got plans, you got goals. If you don't have that and somebody comes in and wants to interject their plans and their goals into your life, don't get upset. Get moving. Develop some of your own so that you don't fall subject to what other people think you should do because you appear vulnerable, because you don't have a direction and people can sense that. Yes, we're always updating our plans. So where did the storming get started? What was the conflict? What part did you play in it? Could it have been resolved at a lower level of conflict? Or did it escalate because you could not manage it or would not manage it? If you don't manage one bee that flies into your house, because I have a deck on the side of my house, and in the summertime, it's a little chilly now, I leave the door open and there's a screen that I had made for the door, but sometimes it's not connected and a bug will get in. Well, if I don't close that screen, his relatives are coming in with him or her, or the family will be looking for him. So I have to go and tweak that, hook that thing, the screen to the door, to the frame, so that the other bugs don't come in. So you have open screens in your life. Are people bugging you? Are you upset? Then do something about it. Do something about it. And then that's called norming. This is that Tuckman theory. This is the Tuckman famous theory for resolving and making effective teams. And that's, what is it? I want you to put it in the feed: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjoining. So now we're up to norming. How do you normalize a situation? How do you neutralize the opposing forces? How do you put up a white flag and say, look, I want peace. I want to resolve this. You know, that's what they do in war when one troop is giving up, one force is giving up. Who's going to put the flag up of peace? Is it going to be you? Do you want to make a New Year's resolution, or do you want to make a New Year's revolution? You want to change everything about how you're looking at solving problems. You want to win by unfighting. So norming. This is how you lessen. Hello, Tamika. This is how you lessen the issue. You look for the resolution. You look for the resolve so that you can bring a revolutionary change to the whole process. Look at the end and move from the end in. You're looking to resolve the issue. How many people, how many situations do you just want to back out of? Well, so let's say this. Let's do a count. Well, I don't need them in my life. I don't need them. I don't. So I can get rid of that person. They're not important. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's my uncle on my cousin Bubba's side. You know what I mean? He doesn't mean that much to me. Aunt Sadie, she's just off. She's just off. I'm not dealing with that. My boss, I will ignore that person. I will go sit at my desk and do my work because he or she is, or they are not going to impact on me. So you could do that. When I go to that grocery store, that man doesn't speak to me. Well, then I'm going to go to another grocery store. That teller in the bank. Now, every time I go in there and ask for help, that person is like, has this nonchalant attitude. How many years I've been going to that bank? I'm going to get me another teller. I'm going to tell the manager that I don't like the way that person is treating me. Okay, folks, how many times do you want to do that? How many of those relationships may not be critically important, but you know what's important about them? Because every one of them gives us the opportunity to learn how to negotiate for peace and how to win by unfighting. That's what's important in life. How much angst do you want to carry? And every time you have to exit somebody from your life, it takes a little bit of peace from you and you get jaded. You know what jaded is? It means the things that should make you happy, the emotions that should be in play, the joy that you have, the happiness that you could have. You put a little chink in your armor. And so a little chink here, I got rid of Esther. A little chink, I don't have to talk to my boss. A little chink, I'll make sure I won't sit with them at work. A little chink, you know what? I don't like the way they're giving my service. I'll change the gardener. A little chink. My mother said that to me. I won't call her for 2 days. Now, you know you did it. You know you did it. You know what we do with family. Well, the nerve of that person to say that to me in that way, that's my mother. She knows me better than that. That's my dad. Chink, a little chink in the armor, a little dent in the heart, a little sting on the emotions. After a while, you may start to look like you don't have any armor because you got so many chinks in it. It's not effective. You're jaded. So you are protecting yourself from life and all the joys and the benefits that it offers when you don't know how to unfight to win the big victory. The weapons that we use are those genuine whenever possible. I'm not talking about somebody comes up on the street and starts to knock you down. They want your pocketbook, whatever. You have to make a judgment call. But I'm talking about the things that happen every single day in our life. Somebody's going to cross you. Somebody's going to say a thing. Somebody's going to look away. Somebody is going to give you an indication that they're not in your corner the way that you want. So, how do you norm it? That's where we are. How do you make it normal? I want you to write this down. I want you to put it in the feed. Because if it's important, it's worth documenting, folks. We learn. You see all those books behind me? That's somebody took the time to share their theories, their thoughts, their aspirations, their goals, their dreams, so I could pick them up and read them and benefit from their experience, their knowledge, their expertise. So write it down, folks. Don't leave it to memory. Don't leave it to memory. So here's the plan. What happened? That's how it formed. Storming. What took it out of the norm and made it into a disagreement, a disappointment, a heartache, a heartbreak, a dysfunctionality in your life, and then to the norming. So here's how you norm it. What is the best possible option I have in this situation? Ask yourself the question. Don't ask yourself the question, are they important? Is it important? It's important to you to learn the tools. So practice on the small, and when the big comes, you'll have some skill. You'll have some skill. If you can't resolve your issue with the mailman, how are you going to resolve the issue with your mother? It's coming up on the holidays. We're not looking to make New Year's resolutions. We are looking to make New Year's revolutions. We want to turn the way we solve issues on its head, a 380-degree turn. I guarantee you, folks, that if you apply this in your life, if you look at the unfight as the big win. So write down the situation. Write it down. What is it? What is the best possible end? The end is that you neutralize it. What can you do? What can you do? Not what they should do, but what can you do? Write down several options, because one may not be the answer. Write down several options. How can I resolve this mess and turn it into a message and turn that into a known miracle? And let me tell you, miracles are big. We think of miracles as, oh, I got healed. I got that job. God, I prayed, and that was a freaking miracle. I stepped out on the street and a car almost hit me, and for some reason I stepped back and it just missed me. But you know, they're everyday miracles. Whatever can change your life, whatever can change your perspective, whatever can bring you the real gold out of the grit of life is a miracle. It happens every day, folks, if you look around you. Every day you open your eyes is a miracle, because somebody down the block, 5 blocks over, in another state, in another country, did not open their eyes. They went to bed last night and they could not get up because they were gone. So when your eyes open, that's your first miracle. You got your breath, you can get out of the bed. That's the other miracle. You can go into your kitchen, you got food, whatever. The things we take for granted. They resonate with us when we attend a funeral. I never go into a funeral hall to visit with the family, to see the body, whatever we're doing, where I don't say, God, that could have been me. That could be. One day it will be me. It wasn't that day. That day, I got the miracle of life. So every day that you can resolve an issue is an opportunity to revolutionize how you operate in this world. Because disagreement, disconnects happen all the time. Master this skill and you will motivate yourself in a way that no coach, no minister, no top speaker could do, because you'll have an internal motivation. Because when problems come, you won't be decimated. You'll be activated because you have a process. And now performing. Go out and do the thing that you said you would do to resolve the issue. Make a list of those issues that you want to resolve. Some of them may be with yourself, but most of the time, our self stuff involves somebody else. What can you do? So, when a thing happens, and this is what, hi Tracy, this is what we don't like to do. We don't like to hold people accountable on the spot when it happens. I don't mean those people that say, well, that's just the way I talk. That's just the way I am. I just tell you what's on my mind. I'm not talking about that. Somebody says to you, well, Tracy, I would really like you to go with me to this event because girl, you can rock it like that. And it would just, oh, I would love it if you would go with me because you know how to connect with people, Tracy. You know, I'm a little shy. Tracy says, you know what, Emma? I'd love to go with you. I'd love, but I have a previous engagement. And then your friend gets upset. But you're my friend. Why don't you go with me? Because you know I need you. I mean, your business is successful. I'm just starting. If you don't norm that thing out and perform it right then and there and say, I really support you. And maybe at another time I can, but this time I can't make that commitment. Well, you know, the person may not like it, but they respect you and you feel better because you did what was good. You did it honestly and openly. Now, let me tell you how that could have went. Well, I want you to go with me because you know your business is successful and mine is not. And don't you want to help a sister out? And you can say, listen, I told you I have a meeting to go to. Come on. Or you say nothing. Person, well, can you come? And you say, no, I can't come. There's no compassion, it seems, in your voice. Because now you're upset because that person told you to forget about what you were doing so that you could do that for them. And in this situation, you can't. You can't. This commitment you have to make. Or you want to make it. It's important to you. You made yourself important. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be okay with being okay. A small thing. A small event that can change your life, because if you work it here, you can take it there when the big stuff comes. When you have those family meetings because everything has gone so awry in the family that nobody's talking, then you can be the peacemaker. You can help bring the resolution. You can move them from storming, from forming that argument, to storming in that argument, to norming that. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they are the children of God. So, folks, this is serious stuff. You don't want to take this into 217. You don't want to take the old flight or fight. You want to win by unfighting. You don't want to focus on the toxicity of the situation or what I refer to as the pollution. You want to focus on the solution. Life is hard enough without carrying the burden of unfinished business. And you certainly don't want to take it into 2018, because in 2018, you want to rise up. You want to walk in your power. You want to walk in your gift, and you want to leave that old stuff behind. You want to take the new approach into the new year. This is what life is about. Life is about connecting with others in a way that you make a difference in their life by being truthful, by being honest, and by demonstrating that it's okay to make choices for yourself and not allow others to transgress. It's okay to stand up for yourself, but not with your boxing gloves on, with your hands open. A sign of, I'm ready to talk about this. Are you brave? Are you brave? Are you brave? Are you brave enough to win by unfighting? And finally, the fifth stage, which Tuckman added to the storming, the forming, the storming, the norming, and then the performing, actually going out and doing it, is the adjoining. It means that once the issue is resolved, you can move on. You can adjoin yourself or align yourself with situations or perhaps even new people that will supply or provide or operate in the same realm as you do. But I want to give you this word of caution. It is okay to be surrounded by like-minded people, but not people who don't challenge you to be your best you. You don't want to be surrounded by all the yeses, because then you never become your best. You need somebody to pull your coattail to say, uh-oh, that wasn't good. And God will give it to you. You just have to be on the alert. So with that, I'm going to end our Monday morning mindset with this last statement. The win is in the unfight. Focus on the solution, not the pollution. Blessed are the peacemakers. We enter into the Christmas holiday. We look forward to the new year. We don't want resolutions. We want a revolution. This is Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton signing off. You can get my free 7 CDs on Mindset Reset. No charge, folks. This is your Christmas gift. Just text the word challenge to the number 718-305-1426. Text the word challenge to 718-305-1426. These are wonderful 15-minute. I always get this confused. I do believe it's an audio or a DVD of me talking about 7 days to reset your mind. Good morning, folks. Have a blessed day.